Hey, Daniel, do you think you could help me with these logs?
What's the point?
What do you mean, what's the point?
Well, I learned in church this morning that there's nothing we can do to earn God's love. So, what's the point?
The point is that you don't want to just watch me carry this whole load for you.
Is there a reward?
A reward?
Yeah, brownie points, gold stars, trophies.
The reward is that we get a job done that needs completing.
I'd rather watch you do it. I don't usually get off the couch unless there's something in it for me.
Well, it would go much faster if you just helped. What are you watching anyway?
It's the news. It's a shame. Everyone's trying to get something for nothing. Can you believe that?
Yeah, hard to imagine. Can you hand me that one over there?
Yeah, sure. People are so self-absorbed.
You do know it's about to get cold out.
I know. It was on the news.
Well, a fire could warm us up.
You know what? I've got my grandpa's quilt. I'm good.
But a fire could keep both of us warm, Daniel.
I mean, no offense, but isn't that your problem? Like I said, I'm good.
Seriously, Daniel? You only think about yourself. We don't all have your grandfather's quilt to keep us warm. I know you feel like there's no point, but it's not always about being comfortable or getting rewards. A little help would be nice.
Jeez, where is all this coming from?
You said that there's no point. There's nothing we can do to earn God's love.
Exactly. Thank you for seeing it my way for once.
But you've got all this time, you've got a house and a really nice quilt, but
Go ahead, say it. I can take it.
you're miserable. Don't you see that? You help no one and you complain about everyone.
Ouch! That's a little harsh, don't you think?
Even with all the creature comforts, a human life is still miserable without love and growth and friendship.
I guess, but I work hard. I don't have time for all of the problems of the world.
Don't you see that God's problems are our problems? How do you think God works in the world? Through us. Well, through me at least.
Ouch again. And every time I help or I give things away, it feels like people always come back wanting more. People want things for free.
No, people just want what you were born with.
It's not my fault I was born with this.
And it's not their fault that they weren't.
Things haven't always been great for me,
I'm sure you've had your struggles. We all do. All the more reason to be a part of a community so that we can share each other's lives and ease each other's burdens.
I'm afraid that people will need more than I can give.
That is a very valid fear. But most of the time, you would be surprised just how much you have to offer. Not just money or resources, but friendship and connection and opportunities.
When I look at my life, I have had lots of opportunities.
Yeah, and that's just one of the many advantages that are hard to quantify.
I never wanted things to be unfair. They just happen that way.
And they will keep happening that way if we don't do something about it.
Like what? And don't say, build a fire.
Well, not a log and flame fire, but a fire in our hearts to care about justice and equity for people besides just ourselves. A fire of neighbor love. Something we can do is learn about people's lives by getting to know them and growing in compassion.
Sometimes I do want to care about my neighbor, but the problem is every time I try and talk about sensitive subjects, like the language is always changing. 10 years ago, you didn't call people black. Now you do. 3 years ago, you didn't call people queer.
Well, I don't know if you can call people queer. Queer people can call themselves queer.
See, thank you for proving my point. I feel like I can't say anything without being corrected 10 times. Words change constantly, and sometimes I'd rather not bother being shamed for not getting it all right.
No one likes to be corrected. You've got that right. And you're right, we all need grace when using updated language. But it helps to remember the why of why we are trying to get it right in the first place. For many people of color and many who identify as LGBTQIA, these language changes can be life or death. So our embarrassment is secondhand. We still have to try because using the correct language is a way of loving our neighbor and helping them to feel seen.
Can I ask an honest question?
Sure.
Why do we say Black Lives Matter?
Well, we say Black Lives Matter because in this country, Black lives have not mattered. And in some places, they still don't. And Black people have been mistreated for generations.
But Willie, really, couldn't we just say that all?
Don't say it.
What? You don't even know what I was going to say.
I
was
do
going
know
to say
what
that
you were
all.
going to say. And the reason I don't want you to say it is because it redirects the conversation away from the fact that Black lives have not been valued.
All lives matter.
You feel better now, Daniel?
A little.
All right. Well, as you said before, God loves each and every one of us unconditionally. So, of course, all lives matter to God. Of course they do. But when you ask why bother help others when there's no prize in it for you, do you see why some of us feel compelled to make sure that other people get what you already have? That's the prize. When we can say all lives matter and it's truth.
I know that I need to be vulnerable to help other people feel safe, but I just don't like it. It's uncomfortable, so sometimes I just don't even bother. I want to feel free, but I don't. If following Jesus is supposed to set us free, then why don't I ever feel free?
That's a good question. I don't always feel free either.
I have 3 kids. I haven't felt free since 2008.
And I have this nagging feeling that I am not worthy.
You don't feel worthy? I don't even know how to keep up with you.
That's so weird because I'm always comparing myself to you and others and wishing that I had your confidence. And sometimes I work so hard that I resent others who don't do anything. And then I resent myself for working too hard and not taking care of myself.
It feels like sin is always there. It's always present in our lives, and it's hard to feel like we're ever enough.
Exactly.
And maybe freedom comes in those moments when we can move past our sin to, get off the couch.
Yeah, or maybe freedom comes in taking some time to yourself and enjoy feeling forgiven. But how do I enjoy my salvation when there are people out there who need this fire?
Well, maybe there's more than just you that can help. Come on. People who might feel better if you sat for a while with my grandpa's quilt.
Hey, Daniel,
Yeah,
will you turn off the news?
sure.
That's better.